big update in former President Trump's election interference case.
Okay.
The judge overseeing that case has now set a trial date for March 4th. This is smack dab in the middle of the Republican primary race for the presidency. It's literally the day before Super Tuesday. Wow. Our chief legal analyst, Katie Barlow, is live with us now to break this all down. And Katie, this is not what Trump's lawyers wanted. This is not what the prosecution wanted. So I guess if you're looking that way, maybe this is a fair deal. Break it down for us.
You're exactly right, Maureen. This is not a date that either side would have preferred, but during a hearing at 10 o'clock this morning in that building behind me, Judge Tanya Chutkan cited closer to where prosecutors wanted to see a trial date than where Team Trump did. Prosecutors were asking for a January 2nd, 2024 trial date right after the new year in just a few months. Prosecutors were arguing for January. Trump's team was saying they wouldn't be ready to go to trial until April 2026, 2 years from now, arguing that they needed time to be able to sort through the almost 13 million pages of evidence and discovery that they've received from the prosecutorial team in the last few weeks. So Judge Chutkan, an Obama appointee, decided on March 4th for the trial date, but I say mark that on your calendars in pencil because it's not uncommon for trial dates to get delayed for one reason or another, although from the way that she handled the hearing this morning, she seems to be moving forward and will do what's in her power to keep things moving toward that March 4th date.
Yeah, but you said they have 13 million pieces of evidence to go through before they can get to trial. If they don't get to go through all that evidence, or if they say they didn't get to go through all that evidence, does that just automatically kick that trial date out of there?
Well, there were a few caveats to that. Yes, it was around 12.8 million pages of discovery, but prosecutors were pushing back on the idea that Team Trump wouldn't have the time or capacity to sort through it. For one, they say that Special Counsel Jack Smith's team has gone to great lengths to organize and annotate and kind of sort through all of that information and even provide summaries to the president that they said was essentially a roadmap of their criminal case against former President Trump. Now, Team Trump's lawyers, including John Lauro, who was in the court this morning, pushed back vehemently on that idea, saying, you know, we have a lot going on next year, not just this criminal trial, and it will take time to be able to sort through all of these documents.
So very quickly, Katie, what does this mean for those maybe looking at from just, is this bode well for President Trump, former President Trump? Does this bode well for the prosecution? Who would you say right now is getting the upper hand with this trial date that's been set?
Well, right now, I would say the prosecutors, since they only got about 2 months later than what they originally wanted on the calendar for next year, I would call that at least a smaller win for them because they'll be on this calendar schedule going to trial closer to when they wanted to. But again, time will tell. Now, it is not just today that the calendar is set and then trial begins March 4th. There are a lot of things that have to happen between now and March, including the continued exchange of information from both parties, including both parties making arguments against each other and defensive style tactics from Team Trump that were previewed today in court. We'll talk more about those coming up at 4, 5, and 6. But a lot of filings, a lot of communication happens, and the judge set a schedule for a lot of those. And if those aren't met or if those need delays for one reason or another, that's going to kick that March 4th trial date down the road.
All right, I have to watch and see what happens in this interesting case.
We are going to be watching.
All right, thank you, Katie. Moving on to
13 million pages.
It's a lot.